Well, with 2025 finally here, suffice it to say, I think many of us are eager for Trailer 2. And it's easy to see why. This is definitely one of the most anticipated games of all time. And I strongly believe it has the potential to be a generation definer if it turns out to have the same level of quality or even higher quality than the games that have preceded it. But I'm what you would call cautiously optimistic. The truth is, I'm not entirely convinced just because of Take Two's modern business practices in certain areas, and I'll elaborate on that. So, I do want to preface by saying I'm very confident in the story mode of this game. I think it's going to be super, super high quality. Rockstar has always delivered in this front. Ever since GTA 3, they've never really had a bad sort of single player experience in Grand Theft Auto. And I think that's no different here. My concern really lies with the online portion. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that Grand Theft Auto 5's online experience is kind of a disaster. It has the potential to be fun, and you can have fun if you're patient, but especially on PC, with all the nonsense with the modding, the hackers and all that, it's really frustrating. And I can't help but wonder if Rockstar is going to somehow drop the ball in this field. So, that modding issue aside, right, there are plenty of other problems you could pick apart Grand Theft Auto 5 online for. The shark cards, for instance, the ability to pay real world money for currency and then go gamble that in the in game casino. It's like literal gambling, right? That can definitely leave a poor taste in some people's mouths. And considering how successful Grand Theft Auto 5 has been, this game has made $8.5 billion since launch in 2013. I can't help but see them doubling down on this monetization style. And when you couple that with the potential of not having a very competent anti-cheat system, or one at all, really, in the case of GTA 5, it doesn't look good. They don't have a great track record when it comes to the online support of any of their games, really. Of course, like I said, GTA 5 Online has the modding issue on PC, and even then, there's a lot of other miscellaneous problems with griefing and stuff like that. Griefers aren't encouraged to do the right thing. You get a $2,000 good behavior bonus, but that's really not enough to stop the Oppressor Mark II spammers from destroying your convoy and shit like that. No, they really need to expand upon the idea of protecting the legitimate players that are just trying to grind and build their criminal enterprise. And I hate to say, but their track record so far is not good. So when we think about this, we think about what has been teased in the trailer. I would say the single player experience is likely going to be in good hands. In fact, for me, the single player has been the highlight of every GTA game, including GTA 5, which was the first Grand Theft Auto game to have a very intensive multiplayer focus. So then that just leaves the question of GTA 6 and what they're going to do with this. And, it's too early to tell ultimately. Trailer 2 isn't out yet, and it's unlikely they're going to talk about the multiplayer experience anytime soon. In fact, they might not even have it at launch for all we know. But I think that's really going to be the defining factor of this game's longevity is the multiplayer. Now, of course, on PC, you're going to have modding and stuff like that for the single-player experience, and people are going to add their own content, I'm sure, although with the way Take-Two takes down their player mods, who knows, but regardless, I think the single-player experience is going to be in good hands, and we don't really have anything to worry about there. But the online, man, I'm not convinced, and this is the area I'm most concerned for. I'm concerned primarily for the monetization, because the other stuff can be worked around if you're patient. But as far as the monetization goes, the one saving grace of Grand Theft Auto 5 Online is you don't really need to buy shark cards to progress. If you're patient, if you're persistent, if you have a good crew of people, you can more or less still succeed and unlock the properties and cars and businesses you want to unlock. But what's stopping them from doubling down on GTA 6? What's stopping them from making shark cards more of a necessity or giving you the option to gamble away your money in more ways? Really nothing apart from whatever international laws there are. But in terms of the two biggest markets of the video game industry, which off the top of my head are South Korea and the US, they have a lot of leeway there. They have a lot of leeway for how they can monetize this online experience and make it subpar, to say the least. So I don't know. I am ultimately just speculating here, and maybe I'm in the wrong for thinking like this, but to be honest, I'm not. I am excited for GTA 6. I mean, how couldn't I be? You know, I was 9 years old when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in 2013. I'm gonna be 21 in a few months. Like, just let that sink in. You know, I am excited for the game, but as far as the multiplayer goes, I'm honestly expecting a subpar experience at best and a complete disaster at worst. The just the basic mismanagement of GTA 5's online, like the little things, like how it uses peer-to-peer networking, which basically means they don't use their own servers for the multiplayer lobbies. You basically you have your own like lobby, and your computer is connecting directly to other people's internet connections, and they all kind of mingle together into this hodgepodge of what appears to be like a sanctioned multiplayer lobby, but in reality, it's not running on Rockstar's actual servers. Beyond like transactions and mini games and heists and stuff like that. And this opens the door to the modding issue I was talking about. That's like the first thing that has to go. If they want to make a competent GTA 6 online experience, that's like the first thing they have to cut. It just doesn't feel good to have the possibility of every like 2 to 3 hour game session, you run into a modder. Like, that doesn't feel good. No one wants to deal with that. So again, this is mostly a PC issue. On console, modding is far less common given the nature of hacking your consoles and jailbreaking and all that. It's not like it used to be on like the previous gen systems like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 back when they had online support, because those consoles have been jailbroken for years at this point. So I don't know. I think I'm cautiously optimistic at best and rather cynical at worst. I think GTA 6 is going to deliver on the single player front, as Rockstar pretty much always has. But for the multiplayer, I can't help but worry about what the state of the game is going to be. What are the pay to win mechanics going to be like? Are there going to be any? Are they going to double down on what we had before? Are they going to encourage people to, cough up their hard-earned money for gambling in a casino and getting some digital currency so they can buy a car they want or a property or whatever? I don't know. So I want this game to be as good as it's cracked up to be, as good as the trailer suggests it is. But I'll believe it when I see it. But hey, as always, let me know what you guys think. I think it's important for us to hold these companies accountable when they make questionable business practices, and I can only hope that us sparking this discussion and talking about our concerns may have a remote possibility of reaching the people in charge. Realistically, it won't. Realistically, it doesn't matter, because let's face it, they're making the same amount of money regardless of how many people are pissed off. If people buy the game, that's the status quo. That's what actually pays the bills. So maybe we're not making a difference, but I'd like to think that at least as a community, we should come together and hold these companies accountable when they screw up. So I don't know. At the same time, I don't want to throw too much shade at Rockstar and Take Two Interactive because the game hasn't launched yet. It's hard to say for sure what's going to happen, but I'm just anticipating the possibility of some BS somewhere down the line. Anyway, that's going to do it for this short little video. Please like and subscribe if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and I'll catch you again later. Bye for now.